often feel like you're disappearing in conversations or that your needs and desires are being suffocated by others? It's a familiar feeling for many of us, but one that can be incredibly draining. In this video, we'll explore the roots of this phenomenon, how our childhood experiences shape our relationships and self-worth. So let's dive into the unseen pattern of people-pleasing. You know, that constant need to fill someone else's void. It starts from a very young age. Imagine being a child, constantly seeking validation from your caregivers, but getting mixed messages in return. Be quiet, they say, so I can focus on work. But then, when you're loud and happy, they scold you for being too much. This emotional neglect creates a sense of uncertainty. Am I enough? Am I worthy? As we grow up, this pattern repeats itself. We start to people-please as a way to avoid conflict or rejection. But in doing so, we sacrifice our own needs, desires, and boundaries. It's like trying to fit into a pair of shoes that are always one size too small. We feel suffocated, yet we can't seem to break free. You may recognize this feeling, like you're constantly trying to make others happy, even if it means sacrificing your own happiness. And in doing so, you may have lost touch with what truly makes you happy. You see, when we're constantly overthinking what others think of us, it's like trying to hold water in our hands. The more we focus on it, the more it slips through our fingers. We become so preoccupied with analyzing every interaction, every decision, that we forget to listen to our own inner voice. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself second-guessing a decision, replaying conversations in your head for hours, or rehashing past arguments? That's not just self-reflection. That's high-functioning depression. It's the weight of overthinking and self-doubt, slowly draining our energy and creativity. I remember when I was younger, my grandmother used to say, "You're so smart, but you overthink everything." And she was right. I would spend hours agonizing over what to wear or what to eat for dinner. It wasn't just about making decisions. It was about seeking validation from others. We do this because we've been taught that our worth is tied to external approval. But here's the thing. When we're so focused on what others think, we start to lose touch with our own thoughts and emotions, leading to a never-ending cycle of self-doubt. As we continue down this path, we start to notice that emotional labor is no longer just about helping others, but also about avoiding our own emotional pain. We've been so focused on smoothing out the rough edges of those around us that we've forgotten how to navigate our own complexities. Think back to a time when you were in a situation where someone was upset, and you felt an overwhelming urge to fix it for them. Maybe it was a family member, a friend, or even a colleague. Whatever the context, you probably went into solution mode, trying to find ways to calm them down, make them feel better. But what about your own emotional state? Did you stop and ask yourself if this felt okay to you? Or did you just push forward, sacrificing your own needs in the process? This is where emotional labor can become toxic. We start to believe that our worth is tied to how well we manage others' emotions, rather than developing healthy ways to regulate our own feelings. As we explore the signs that you were taught to shrink yourself, it's essential to recognize how self-sabotaging behaviors can be a coping mechanism for deeper emotional pain. Imagine being a child, constantly trying to please your parents or caregivers, but feeling like no matter what you do, it's never enough. You start to believe that your worth is tied to external validation, rather than cultivating self-love and self-acceptance. This pattern of people-pleasing can become a silent suffering, as we compromise our own needs and desires to avoid conflict or rejection. It's like walking on eggshells, constantly trying not to rock the boat, but never truly feeling safe or seen. We may find ourselves wondering why we're drawn to relationships that drain us, or why we self-sabotage opportunities that could bring us joy. As we examine our patterns of self-destruction, it's crucial to ask, what is driving this desire to shrink myself? Is it a genuine attempt to please others, or is there something more complex at play? perhaps unresolved emotions or trauma from my past. You see, our childhood experiences have a profound impact on how we develop our attachment styles, the way we navigate relationships with others. Think of your early life like a map, guiding you through what's safe and what's not. If your caregivers were inconsistent or unreliable, you might have developed an anxious attachment style, always seeking validation from others. Or, if they were overly critical, you may have learned to people please, sacrificing your own needs for the sake of keeping the peace. You see, when we're constantly trying to please others, we start to lose sight of what truly matters, our own well-being. Think of it like a tree that's been bent out of shape by the wind. It may have adapted to survive, but in doing so, it's lost its natural form and strength. As we've discussed, shrinking ourselves is often a coping mechanism, a way to avoid conflict or rejection. But what happens when this pattern becomes so ingrained that we forget our own needs? We start to believe that being liked by everyone is more important than being true to ourselves. Think of it like a tree that's constantly pruning its branches to fit into a small garden. It may be safe, but it's also stunted and unable to grow in the direction it truly wants. In relationships, we can start to feel like this tree, always adjusting our words and actions to avoid hurting others' feelings. But what if you said no to that dinner invitation because you needed a night alone? What if you spoke your mind without worrying about being too loud or too opinionated? It's scary, I know, but it's also liberating. And when we start to prioritize our own needs and desires, something remarkable happens. We begin to feel more confident, more worthy of love and respect, just as we are. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to remember that you are not alone in feeling like you've been taught to shrink yourself. It's a common thread that runs through so many of our lives, this pressure to be perfect, to fit into someone else's mold. But here's the thing. Being human is messy, it's imperfect, and it's beautiful. Think about all the incredible things that happen in life because we're willing to take risks, to try new things, to make mistakes. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Was it when you were trying to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be? Or when you allowed yourself to be vulnerable, to be imperfect? For me, it was the latter. And let me tell you, it was liberating. I finally felt like I could breathe, like I didn't have to wear this mask of perfection all the time. And that's what I want for you, to feel like you can exhale, to know that you're enough just as you are. As we wrap up this conversation, I want you to take a deep breath with me. It's time to let go of the weight that's been holding you back. Remember, it's not your job to shrink yourself to fit others' expectations. You've spent so long trying to be enough for everyone else that you forgot how to love and accept yourself, flaws and all. But the truth is, you are already enough. Just as you are in this moment, with all your imperfections and strengths, you are worthy of love and acceptance. It's time to start loving yourself, not despite who you are, but because of who you are.